Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Pam, and this is Green Living for Real Life, where I show you how to make green living fit into your real life. Today, we're talking about spring cleaning, specifically what to do with all that stuff in your get rid of pile once you've actually done the hard work of sorting through everything. Because here's the thing, most of us do the decluttering, create the pile, and then it just sits there in the garage, in your trunk for months while you try to figure out what to do with it. Does that sound familiar at all? I know it does to my husband, who is always asking me, when are you going to drop that off? So today I'm going to make that part easy because keeping that stuff out of the landfill is actually more doable than you think. And I'm going to give you the specific places and programs to get rid of almost everything in that pile. Before we get into the solutions, let me take just a minute to explain why this actually matters. Because once you understand it, you might be a little more motivated to do it. So, a modern landfill is basically a large hole in the ground lined with clay and plastic, and garbage gets buried in small sections and covered with soil daily. And as that garbage decomposes underground, it creates two things. One is a toxic liquid called leachate and also methane gas. And both of those have to be collected regularly to protect the environment around the landfill. But beyond that, so much of what ends up in a landfill could have been recycled or reused instead. It represents a real loss of resources that went into making those things in the first place. And here's the part that a lot of people don't realize. Stuff does not break down quickly in a landfill. Landfills are designed to store garbage, not decompose it. There's very little oxygen underground, which means things just sit there for a really long time. Well, how long? Well, let me give you a few examples from my own get rid of it pile. Batteries, about 100 years. Old toothbrushes take about 400 years. Unwearable clothing and shoes, 25 to 40 years. Electronics can be anywhere from 100 to a million years, depending what's in them. DVDs and CDs, about a million years because they're plastic. Plastic toys, 10 to 10,000 years. Unusable pencils, about 100 to 200 years. And I know that's kind of a lot to take in and really imagine, but that's exactly why it's worth the extra effort to keep this stuff out of the landfill. So let's talk about how to actually do that. When it comes to getting rid of your spring cleaning pile, the goal is simple. Donate or sell as much as possible before you even think about tossing anything. So, if you have items in good condition that have some value, places like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace are your best friends. I typically use those for bigger ticket items. Yeah, it takes a little effort to list and coordinate, but you can make decent money and the item goes to someone who actually wants it and will use it. A yard sale is another great option, either at your own home or through a community sale at a church or a school. So that means more traffic and less hassle for you. For donating items, my first stop is always my neighborhood, whether it's a local listserv, a Facebook community group, or just putting something out with a free sign. You'd be amazed at what people will take. Free Cycle is another great option. It's a free online community where you can give and get stuff locally. You sign up at freecycle.org, and it's perfect for random items that charitable organizations typically won't accept. Beyond that, Goodwill, Habitat for Humanity, local churches, shelters, preschools, and daycares are all worth a call. You'd be surprised what they'll take. Art supplies, pet supplies, random household items. Don't assume they won't. Take something before you ask. Okay, so for the things that you can't donate with regard to recycling, this is the part I'm most excited to share because this is where most people just give up and throw things in the trash. But there are specific programs for almost everything in your pile. Okay, in my pile, I had CDs and DVDs, which Green Disc and TerraCycle both have mail-in programs for recycling. Best Buy has a store drop-off for most electronics. Your local division of solid waste is also worth checking to see if they can take it. Rechargeable batteries can be dropped off at Best Buy, and I also found Call to Recycle that you can check out to see if there's a location near you. But note, regular batteries do still have to go into the trash. Okay, printer ink cartridges, Staples and Office Depot both have store drop-off programs. Non-working Christmas lights, A company called Holiday LEDs has a mail in program. Used school and office supplies, Crazy Crayons, Develop Africa have mail in programs. For unwearable shoes, Nike has a shoe drop off program at their stores. Unwearable clothing, you can send to Retold Recycling, and H&M also has a store drop off. Flat tennis balls, Rebounces has a mail in program. Old toothbrushes, TerraCycle has a mail in program. Old makeup, TerraCycle has a drop off bin at Nordstrom and Nordstrom Rack stores. Okay, I know that's a lot of specific programs. I don't expect you to remember them, so I'm going to link them all in the show notes for you. So you can just come back to the show notes and everything will be there when you're ready to get rid of your piles. So, I want to be honest with you for a second. All of this does require sometimes a lot of extra effort. And some of these mail in programs are kind of annoying. Yeah, I get it. But here's my approach. I don't try to do it all at once. I tackle one category at a time. Maybe this week I drop off electronics at Best Buy when I'm running errands. Next week, maybe I set up a free cycle listing for some of the random stuff. And then maybe the week after that, I mail in some CDs. Progress, not perfection. Small steps definitely add up. And honestly, knowing that my old toothbrush isn't going to sit in the landfill for 400 years is worth the 10 minutes it takes to box it up and mail it, especially when I think about the world my kids are going to inherit. You don't have to do everything on this list. Pick one or two things from your pile and start there. And don't feel guilty if you have to toss some stuff in the trash. Trying to keep what you can out of the landfill definitely counts. So here's one action from today's episode that you can take. Look at your spring cleaning pile right now and identify one item that you can keep out of the landfill using one of the programs that I just mentioned. Just one. And again, I'll link everything in the show notes, so finding the right program will take less than 2 minutes. And if you haven't grabbed my free Real Life Mom's Guide to Green Kitchen Habits yet, the link will be in the show notes. It's 20 simple green kitchen habits that are totally doable. None of them are extreme. And if you enjoyed this episode, you might also enjoy my episode on why plastic bags don't go in your curbside bin. I'll link that in the show notes too. And finally, if you're not already subscribed to this podcast, please do. I'd love to have you back next week. New episodes drop every Monday. Speaking of next week, we're going to be talking about organic produce, specifically which fruits and vegetables are worth buying organic and which ones aren't. The 2026 EW list just dropped, and there's a brand new finding that every mom needs to know about. See you then.